All right, so I just want to say there is no shame in being poor and needy. The Lord is with the needy. And I made a mistake, or I misquoted, or the Lord has revelated to me a little bit more. And death does not lose its power in this famine. Uh, the sting of death is given to the locusts that are going to come out of the pit. So the pit hasn't opened up as of yet in this eternal famine. And COVID 19. COVID 19 was a mock, or oh shoot, was a mock for real judgment, to put your guards down for what's to come. So, I'm just going to start in Revelation 17. The woman on the beast. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto you the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, the whore of the seas, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color. I believe that beast to be the beast system. That's another video for another time. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Decked in purple, gold. And there's a description of Tyrus in Ezekiel 28:13 that matches that description. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was thy covering, the sardius, the topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, and the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle, and gold. The workmanship of thy tabrets and of thy pipes was prepared in thee in the day that thou wast created. Now you remember that I did a video on a teaching on Satan is both Satan and Saturnalia. As he fell to the earth, he turned into something. He turned into both male and female. So the whore that lays upon many waters is the same as Tyrus, the king, in Ezekiel 13. Thou art the anointed cherubim, 28 and 14 Ezekiel. And I have set thee so, that thou wast upon the holy mountain of God. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. So, you know, the merchant has whored with Satan. Okay. And let's see, I just want to get to the meat of it because I don't want to be all day. I could be all day. So we're going to go to Revelations 18, the desolation of Babylon. let me go to 17 and 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horror sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Yeah. So she's controlling the whole earth. We're going to go down here to 18. 17, 18, Revelations. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. So she's running everybody. She's got everybody in the palms of her hands. It's a little chilly out here this morning. Okay. Let's see. We're going to go down to the desolation of Babylon. And I'll just start at 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon, the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. It's going to become a prison for every foul thing. Babylon. And they say that America is Babylon, but I'm not sure if that's America or if the whole world has fallen under the power of this harlot. 18 and 3. For all nations have drunken of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. So if you don't come out of Babylon, which I've been called out of Babylon, I don't work in anything in these systems, none of their food programs, none of their, nothing that belongs to this system am I a part of. Their jobs, their churches, their schools. I don't belong to anything in Babylon. If you stay in Babylon, then you are going to receive her plagues, which are coming soon. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled to her double. So she gets double portions of what she's done put out there. Which this is the whore of Babylon, the harlot. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. That's Revelation 17:5. How much she Revelations 18:7. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she hath in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, and mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord who judgeth her. So if you stay in Babylon, you're going to catch Babylon's judgment. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. The merchandise of gold, silver, and precious stones, of pearl, and fine linen, and purple, and silk, and scarlet, and all thine wood, and all manner vessels of ivory, and all manner vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and iron, and marble, and cinnamon, and odors, ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, and wheat, with beasts, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men. And the fruits of thy soul and the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. This is the famine. This is the famine, and this is the judgment on the merchant, the ships of Tarshish. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. And so 18 and 16, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. I mean, this is going to happen fast, and it's coming soon. They've got you with your guards down. They've got you watching the election, and election isn't even necessary. We've been in states of disaster since 9/11, and FEMA's been running things, you know. The election isn't even necessary. They've agreed to disagree. There are two sides to the same coin, and their agenda remains the same. They're going to be the ones who fulfill God's judgment. All right. For in 1 hour so great riches come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? And they cast down their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, that great city, wherein we're made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour she is made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven. That's me. I'm waiting on it. And ye holy apostles and prophets, for God hath avenged you on her. And a mighty angel stood up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And the voice of harpers and musicians, and of pipers and trumpeters, shall be heard no more at all in thee. Oh, I'm talking about it's finna get bad. And this is just the judgment against Babylon, the merchants of the sea, the ships of Tarshish, which is the whole world. And no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. All work, whatever profession you had, and the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. Uh-oh. This is the darkness in us, or the darkness in them. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. Oh, this is the beginning. This is just the beginning. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by their sorceries were all nations deceived. Sorceries, Magi, M-A-G-A. I think it goes supposed to stand for Make America Great Again. But why I say I, Magi, because that's an A at the end of that.